Happy Saturday morning, y'all. Welcome to the garage. I'm going to show you how to get into woodworking for free. That's right, I said free. This is geared for those people out there that want to get into woodworking and have a zero budget. Big, fat zero. All right? So I'm going to flip you around and show you some tools that most people already have. And they're just fine for woodworking to starting out. So hold on there, let me flip you around and we'll go over some tools. All right guys, first thing we're gonna do is go over power tools. Most people have these three power tools: circular saw, orbital sander, and some kind of drill. Now that's a drywall drill. That's all I have as far as corded tools go, corded drills. And all these are corded. And they're going to be your most inexpensive tools. Now, if you don't have these three tools, the first thing you need to do is ask Dad, ask Grandpa, ask Uncle Jack, ask friends, hey, do you have some corded power tools you don't use that much that I can borrow or have to start woodworking? And I'm sure there's somebody out there that will let you use them or give you an old circular saw and an old drill. I mean, I've gotten rid of a couple of corded drills myself, and if that doesn't work, then I'm going to tell you the places where you can get these tools pretty cheap. Okay, if you don't have these three power tools, and you don't have anybody that can let you use or give them to you, I'm going to tell you where you can go to get them. All right? First big place to go, okay? Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, any online site that sells stuff. You can find stuff pretty cheap. Okay? That's number one. Number two, pawn shops. Do not count pawn shops out. Go to 2 or 3 of them. Look at the prices. Shop first. Just don't go, on a spree and go to a pawn shop and buy them. Check the prices first. First pawn shop tool that I bought was a square pad Black & Decker sander. I had that thing for quite a few years. And it finally exploded on me. The springs for the pad finally blew up, but I paid $11 at a pawn shop. $11. I've got air nailers that I've paid $20 for. Porter Cable brand. So do not count pawn shops out. Do not. Now, the next thing I want you to do is go to Harbor Freight. Now, I'm not one for power tools to Harbor Freight, but this is why I bring them up. Go check their prices out. They have pretty expensive tools, and there's nothing wrong with them. They're going to get you started. They're going to get you used to using power tools, and get going. All right. So, and you can. They've got a variety now. Harbor Freight's got a variety. And I'm not endorsed or paid or anything contracted for any of these places that I'm naming. Not sponsored whatsoever. But go to Harbor Freight, check their prices out, see what they've got some pretty cheap sanders. They've got some pretty cheap corded drills. All right? Now the next place that I want you to go check out is a box store. Now I've got one that I go to, because I believe that they have the biggest variety of tools, cheap to name brand. And prices aren't that bad. They are not that bad. You have the green one. It has like your Harbor Freight style tools right up to name brand stuff. Okay? And I went to these places before I made this. When I was thinking about making this video, I went to these places. So go to all of them first. Go to your pawn shops, go to your box stores, get prices. Okay. the green store has a variety, and I've bought some cheap tools from the green store. I have. And then there's the orange store. They've got a name brand, and it's not really it is a name brand, but it's Ryobi. It's the cheapest corded tools that you can get. Now the Home Depot that I have that's by me, it's a smaller one, so they don't have a big, huge variety of tools, but they've got the stuff. Now, so let's go over this, okay? Ask people for power tools. If they don't, then go to pawn shops, get prices. You can get really good deals at pawn shops. Harbor Freight, then the box stores. But shop. Just don't impulse buy. Okay? So I'm going to leave you right there, and then we're going to go over some hand tools. Okay, number one, you don't need the big name brands again. Okay? You don't need the high-end stuff just to start off. Okay? Tape measure, chalk line, pencils. I drive school bus, so I get a lot of pencils that people drop. I either hang on to them or throw them away because there's so many of them. So, utility knife, cheap chisels, any pack of these. You can get these packs. You don't have to get the high-end stuff, okay? I think the Ryobi, they have really inexpensive kits. And that's actually the first kit I ever bought was a Ryobi because it was the cheapest. Any kind of square, speed square, any kind, but you can get these really cheap, really cheap. And this is a cheap one. This is a really cheap one, and I have a good one too. But and a handsaw, any kind of straight edge. This right here is a drywall square. Any kind of straight edge, okay? And again, most people have these hand tools. And if you don't, again, ask Dad, Grandpa, Uncle Jack, friends, family. Ask them what they have. Tell them you want to get into woodworking and you just need some basic tools and see what they have. Okay guys, now that we've gone over tools, I want to go over paying yourself. Whatever you're doing right now, making money, you have to pay yourself. Now starting off, you're not going to be paying yourself very much. As a matter of fact, you might be doing this. Just whatever change that you get when you're going and buying a soda or a coffee or whatever your purchase is, your extra change. Throw in a jar. Pay yourself. Hang on to it. Okay, and if you do make a little bit of money when you get your paycheck, okay, I'm taking $1. I'm taking $5, and you're going to put that away. That's going to be for you. That's what you're making. And if you're serious about woodworking, and it's what you want to try out, you'll stick to your guns. So pay yourself. Get your tools. Pay yourself. Now I'm going to show you free lumber. It's out there. All you got to do is be patient and look for it. All right? Let me turn you around. Okay, guys. So this is free lumber. This right here was a pallet. And when I say pallet, I mean there were a lot of pallets. And they were just going to throw them away. And this is maple. That is maple. And you can see the saw lines. I clean this up. I got some stock that I can use. Okay? I have a lot of this. As a matter of fact, right over here, that is all pallets. Every bit of that. That's cleaned up maple. Look at this. Now, these are small pieces, and I'll probably use these for like small projects. But you got your 1x2 right there. About, I don't know, about 15 inches long, 14 inches long, something like that. And some of the stuff's longer. But that's all free. That was pallets. this right here, this is maple. It was school furniture that they were just throwing in the trash. And I salvaged it out. It's all maple. All of this wood right here was free that I just picked up. Every bit of it. And then again, all this was free. Craigslist Marketplace. Look for pallets. This right here, got it all for free. And free is for me. All this plywood right here, sitting alongside the road. All this 2x6, sitting alongside the road. Now, with that being said, I've got a lot of lumber here. And there's even more up in the rafters. More of that pallet wood that I got to clean up. So you got to, I mean, if you've only got a carport, you got to be careful how much you stuck up onto. Now, the reason why I got the plywood in that 2x6 is because I'm building a shed. And if you come across a score like this, or save the material up, put it beside the garage, put a tarp over it, whatever, to build you a shed, you can start you a little wood shop, just out of a shed. That's how I started. I actually started underneath the carport, then build a shed. So let me show you. And again, Craigslist Marketplace. Go to your areas in your town where it's an industrial park, and you can find pallets and free wood all the time. And we are starting to build a shed over here. And then, like I said, this can be your shop. You can use it for storage. Now, the 2x6 treated, I got out of a dumpster. And I had to splice it all together. My joists are 16-inch on center. And that's 2 layers of that 1/2-inch plywood that you've seen over there. I got the deck for the shed. Okay, so here we go. I've got an 8x10 shed. All right, and I put 16-inch on center. I started from this way and pulled 16, make a mark, X on the left side. The next 16 is 32, X on the left side, so on and so forth. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 joists. All right, and then you got your 2 end pieces, 8 foot, and the other end's 8 foot. Not one of these is a solid piece of wood. I had to splice them just like I did this right here. These bags of concrete right here were free. And I made these pads out of scrap wood that I had. 10x10 little form, and I made these pads. Can't have your shed sitting flat on the ground. Even if you got treated lumber, it's gonna rot. You want it up off the ground so it'll last. All right? And on the plywood, usually you want to go with a 3/4 inch. I didn't have 3/4 inch, so 2 sheets of 1/2 inch. And as you can see, I got 2 layers. All right, this piece right here is less than 3 foot. My next 2 pieces are just shy of being 4 foot. That's just the way they came. So I started on there. I did my cutoff piece down here. All right, and then when I started the second row, I put my 4-foot sheet here and here and put my 3 back there. And then I just filled in the little squares. I leveled out the ground as best as I could. It's not perfect, but it's a shed. It's not a mansion. I leveled the ground out best I could, got my joists in place, nailed them together, and boom, there you go. All right, guys, so there you have it. We've gotten our tools for free, as if it's the stuff that you already have laying around. And we've got our material. Now we're going to make projects. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make that shed. Now I have some tools that I'm going to make the shed with. It's going to make it easier for me because I already have them. But there's no reason, everything that I'm going to do, I got a little bench top table saw. But there's nothing that you can't do with a circular saw, which that you can do with the table saw. See what I mean? What I'm going to do with the table saw, you can do with the circular saw. It's got to be patient and take your time. And I'm going to get set up to do these studs, because those 2x6s, I'm going to save on material and I'm going to rip them into 2x3s. Those are going to be my studs on my walls. So I'm going to end this video with that. Y'all make some sawdust. Please make some sawdust and try it. Even if you've only got the hand saw. There's all different videos out there. Go check other YouTube videos out. If you got a hand saw, a hammer, and a chisel, okay, you can make stuff. The first tools that I used were my dad's tools. And then when I made them tables, I just had bare minimum tools. Yeah, I had a table saw, but I ended up selling that. I really shouldn't have bought it to begin with. And the hammer, any hammer. And I've got a few hammers, but this is just a cheap, like, hammer. You know, Harbor Freight or whatever. As a matter of fact, I got a buddy that's got a shop. When he needs ball peen hammers for his auto shop, he goes to Harbor Freight and he gets them. They're cheap. So, all right, guys, go make some sawdust. Get out there and give it a try. Get you some tools. Find you some lumber for free. And start at it. So, like, share, and subscribe, guys. Okay? If you really like this, I'm going to show you how to do all kinds of stuff. So, like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you. Thanks for following. Thanks for the support. God bless.